Hi, mathematicians. Mrs. Hall here. Welcome back to Namba Corner. And today we are starting something new and really exciting. Today we're going to be talking about graphs, plots, and tables. And this is the first out of 4 activities. So please get out your math journals and a pencil. This particular lesson requires you to be interacting with your notebook throughout the video. So I'll give you a moment to get ready. So back to it. What do you know about graphs? It's important to remember that graphs provide all kinds of data or information in a visual way. Different graphs can be used for different purposes. And let's look at some examples. For example, in this particular bar graph, we're noticing that the question is a favorite type of movie, there are the different movie categories, and the number of people. So this graph tells us what is the most, within the group of people, what's the most popular or the most favorite type of movie. Clearly, it's romance. In this line plot, we're seeing the number of cars sold throughout the course of the week. And it looks like the most popular or the most successful day for car sales is Friday. And really, there's not as many sales on Thursday. In this table, the kids have used tally marks to total what kinds of pets the kids have, cats being the most popular. And lastly, sometimes you might see pie charts. And those graphs can give you a real visual of your data. So what is in this graph, it's showing the methods of traveling to school. And it looks like most people take the car, or they walk, or they take the bus, or they bike. So really, graphs can be used in a variety of different ways, and it just depends on what type of data you want to report. Reading, interpreting, and analyzing graphs are important skills in mathematics and in life. Let's take a look at this beetle graph here. Now, whoopsie, sorry. For a second, please jot down a few things that you notice and a few things that you wonder. And make sure you notice that there are 2 different graphs here. There's the line plot graph, and then there's the bar graph. Sorry, this mouse keeps moving on me. And up here, you'll notice that there's an information table. Take a moment to really digest this information on beetles, which are not my favorite type of insect, but oh well. Okay, let's compare these 2 graphs for a second. I notice on the bar graph that the information or the lengths is reported on the y-axis, which is the axis that's on a vertical. But in the line plot, I notice that the information is reported on the x-axis, which is the horizontal line. I also notice on the line plot that the data is in order from smallest to biggest. And on the bar graph, I notice that the data has some plateaus, and it's also from smallest at the bottom of the y-axis to the largest at the top. Did you notice the same things? The line plot is also, in my opinion, really easy to compare the information, but some of you may prefer the bar graph. It's very easy for you to take a snapshot of the beetles and their average lengths. As I said before, move my little box over. Different graphs are used for different purposes. And for this unit, we're just going to focus on line plots. Okay, take out those number corner journals. Let me move my little box over here so you can see, and let me shrink myself down. Okay. All right, now we're ready to get started. Okay, this is a beetle's line plot, and you'll notice there's the table up here, and then the title of our graph says average length of beetles. Let's write down 3 observations or questions in our math notebooks. Which beetle has the smallest average length? Which beetle has the largest average length? Do any of the beetles have the same length? Excellent. Let's move on. So when we look at graphs, there's some key terms. I gotta make myself even smaller if it will let me. It won't, so I'm gonna push myself way to the side. But there's some key terms, and when you're looking at data, it's often important for you to analyze the minimum. And the minimum on a line plot is the smallest number that's plotted. So when we look at the average length of beetles, we can see that the carpet beetle at 1/4 of an inch has the smallest average length. So that would be our minimum. We also look at our maximum, which would be the largest number plotted. And in this case, the largest number plotted is 1 3/4 of an inch, which is the ox beetle. So the average length for the ox beetle would be our maximum. We can also look for patterns in our graph, and that's what we call the mode. And the mode is the number or the value that occurs most frequently. Important to note, there could be one mode, there could be more than one, or there might not be any modes. But I can see here, there's one mode here at 2/3 of an inch, the average length of the ironclad beetle, and the average length of the click beetle. That's why they have 2 X's above 2/3. Can you find the other mode? If you can, write it down in your math journal. Okay, so I have a few questions for you, and I want you to use your average length of beetles in, for this line plot here, average length of beetles, to solve the following problems. Question number 1. If you lined up a stag beetle and an ox beetle, like sort of head to toe or front to back, how long would they be all together? Question number 2. What is the difference in length between the great silver water beetle and the carpet beetle? And my final question, mathematicians, is what is the difference in length of the ox beetle and the ladybug? Please post all your hard work, all your solutions to my questions on our number corner Padlet. And I can't wait to start this graphing line plot journey together. All right. Talk soon.